Picture me in the summer of 2025 in my Savannah home, where the walls are covered with photos of my grandkids, my late husband Leroy, and my mama Beatrice, who taught me how to stand tall through every storm. I've lived a full life, raised 3 kids, nursed folks back to health for 40 years, and sang my heart out in the church choir. My days now are simple. Tending my garden, sipping sweet tea on the porch, and spoiling my grandbabies Tasha and Marcus. But last June, everything I thought I knew about my family turned upside down. I was up in the attic sorting through dusty boxes of Leroy's old jazz records and Mama's hand-stitched quilts, when I found something that stopped me cold. Tucked inside an old family Bible, its leather cracked and pages brittle, was a sealed envelope with my name, Evelyn Rose Carter, written in a delicate, unfamiliar script. My hands trembled as I opened it, dust floating in the attic's dim light. Inside was a letter dated 1890, from someone named Abigail Du Bois, addressed to the rightful heir of Rosewood Plantation. My breath caught. Rosewood? That name stirred something deep, like a memory I didn't know I had. Mama used to whisper about our ancestors tied to that land, a plantation on Georgia's coast, but she'd hush me when I asked more, saying, "Some stories ain't for telling, Evie." The letter's words hit like a thunderclap. To the descendant of Eliza Carter, the true heir to Rosewood's fortune. The wealth is yours, hidden beneath the weeping willow by the Ogeechee River. But beware the curse that guards it. Blood calls to blood, and betrayal will awaken the shadows. A fortune? Hidden on Rosewood's land? And a curse? I sat there, the Bible heavy in my lap, my heart racing. Eliza Carter was my great-grandmother, a woman Mama called a warrior, born enslaved on Rosewood and freed after the Civil War. But a fortune? Nobody in our family ever spoke of wealth, just struggle, survival, and faith. If you're feeling that chill down your spine, y'all smash that like button and subscribe. We're stepping into a mystery that's got secrets piled on secrets. I took the letter downstairs to my kitchen, spreading it out under the glow of my old lamp. My grandkids, Tasha, 25, bright and curious, and Marcus, 19, always questioning, were visiting, and I showed them the letter. Tasha's eyes lit up. "Grandma Evie, this is huge. Rosewood's land could be worth millions today. Coastal property like that? You're rich." Marcus, my skeptic, crossed his arms. "A curse, though? Sounds like ghost stories to scare kids. You buying this, Grandma?" I didn't know what to believe, but the name Eliza Carter felt like a call I couldn't ignore. I called my cousin Shirley, 78, who's been keeping our family's history since we were girls. She lives in Macon, her house full of photo albums and yellowed letters. "Shirley," I said, my voice shaky, "you ever hear about Rosewood having a fortune?" There was a long pause, so quiet I could hear her clock ticking through the phone. "Evie," she finally said, "Mama told me Eliza was owed something big, land money, something stolen from her after the plantation burned, but she said it came with bad luck. Folks who went looking, strange things happened." I pressed her, but she got sharp. "Leave it alone, Evelyn. Some doors stay shut for a reason." "Leave it alone? Not this old lady. I'm Evelyn Rose Carter, named after the woman who survived slavery, and if there was a fortune tied to my blood, I was gonna find it." But that word, curse, kept whispering in my mind. What did Abigail mean by betrayal will awaken the shadows? I started digging, heading to the Savannah Library with Tasha, who's got a knack for research. We found records of Rosewood Plantation, a sprawling estate owned by the Du Bois family until it burned in 1885. Eliza Carter, my great-grandmother, was listed as a trusted servant who stayed on post-emancipation, working the land. After the fire, the Du Bois family vanished, and the land was left unclaimed. There were hints of a scandal, rumors of hidden wealth and family disputes, but nothing about a fortune. And that curse? Not a word, just old newspaper clippings mentioning unexplained misfortunes tied to Rosewood's ruins. That night I dreamed of Eliza. She stood by a river under a weeping willow, her face strong but weary, her dress patched but proud. She looked right at me and said, "Evelyn, the truth is yours, but it comes at a cost. Watch your kin." I woke up in a cold sweat, my heart pounding. Kin? My own family? The letter's warning echoed. Trust no one, not even kin. Was Eliza trying to tell me something? If you're hooked like I am, hit that subscribe button and like this video. We're unraveling a mystery that's got my soul stirring. I couldn't shake the dream, so I decided to visit Rosewood's ruins, an hour's drive from Savannah, near the Ogeechee River. Tasha and Marcus came along, Tasha buzzing with excitement, Marcus rolling his eyes but curious. The land was wild, vines choking old oak trees, moss hanging like ghosts, but that weeping willow stood tall, its branches swaying like it was waiting for me. We dug near its roots, the river's hum filling the air, and after an hour my shovel hit something hard. A rusted metal box, small but heavy. My hand shook as I pried it open, Tasha holding her breath, Marcus muttering, "This better not be cursed." Inside was a deed signed in 1880, naming Eliza Carter as the rightful owner of Rosewood's 200 acres, land worth millions now. But there was more. A tiny wooden figurine, a woman with red-painted eyes that seemed to stare right through me, and a folded note in Abigail's script. "The fortune is yours, but the curse binds the betrayers. Blood will call them out." I froze. Betrayers? The deed proved Eliza's claim, but the figurine felt wrong, like it held something heavy, something alive. Tasha whispered, "Grandma, this is it. You're rich." But Marcus frowned at the figurine. "That thing gives me the creeps. You sure about this?" I took the box home, locking it in my safe, but sleep wouldn't come. Those red eyes haunted me, and Eliza's dream words, "Watch your kin," kept circling. Then 2 days later Shirley called, her voice trembling. "Evie, someone broke into my house last night. Didn't steal nothing valuable, but my box of family papers? The ones about Rosewood? Gone." My stomach dropped. Someone knew I'd found the deed. But who? And how? The curse was starting to feel real, like a shadow creeping closer. It was late June 2025. And I was sitting in my Savannah kitchen, the deed and that eerie red-eyed figurine locked in my safe. At 82, I thought I'd faced every kind of hurt, losing Leroy, watching friends pass, struggling through Jim Crow, but this felt different, like a shadow I couldn't shake. The letter's words kept echoing. "Trust no one, not even kin." And Eliza's dream, her voice warning me to watch your kin, had me looking sideways at everyone. Shirley's break-in wasn't random. Someone knew I'd found the deed, and they wanted it. But who? If you're feeling that chill, smash that like button and subscribe. We're peeling back layers of secrets, and it's getting real. I started with Shirley. I drove to Macon, the deed tucked in my purse, my heart heavy. Shirley's house was a mess. Drawers yanked open, papers scattered. She sat at her dining table, her hands trembling around a cup of coffee. "Evie," she said, her voice low, "they took my genealogy box, the one with Eliza's letters and Rosewood notes. I didn't tell nobody but you about it." Her eyes searched mine, and I felt a pang. Was she blaming me? "Surely," I said. "You think someone in the family tipped them off?" She looked away, her lips tight. "I don't know, Evie. But Mama always said Rosewood brought trouble. Maybe it's that curse." That word curse made my skin crawl. I showed her the deed and the figurine, hoping she'd know more. Her eyes widened at the deed. But when she saw the figurine, she pushed it away. "That's bad, Evie. Mama told me about a figure like that, something Eliza's kin made to bind the betrayers. It's old magic, Gullah stuff." Gullah? My family had roots in Georgia's low country, where Gullah traditions ran deep, but Mama never talked about magic. Was the curse tied to that figurine? And who were the betrayers? I went back to the Savannah Library with Tasha, my granddaughter, who was all in, her laptop humming as she dug through records. We found a 1885 newspaper article about Rosewood's fire, hinting at disputes among heirs after the Du Bois family fled. One name stood out, Jeremiah Carter, Eliza's cousin, who'd worked at Rosewood and vanished after the fire. Was he a betrayer? Tasha pulled up a digitized letter from the Du Bois family archives, dated 1880, from Abigail to Eliza. "Your cousin Jeremiah has turned against you, claiming the land for himself. The fortune is yours alone, but he's made a deal with dangerous men. Protect it, Eliza, at all costs." My heart sank. Jeremiah family had betrayed Eliza? If you're as shocked as I was, hit that subscribe button and like this video. We're uncovering a betrayal that's been hiding for generations. I kept digging, my mind racing. The deed proved Eliza owned Rosewood, but Jeremiah's betrayal suggested someone stole it from her. Was that why the land was abandoned? And that curse, did it come from Eliza's pain, her anger at her own kin? I called Marcus, my grandson, who'd been skeptical but was good with tech. Marcus, I said, can you trace Jeremiah Carter's descendants? Might be a clue. He grumbled but got to work, pulling up old census records. Meanwhile, I went back to Rosewood's ruins alone, drawn to that weeping willow. The air felt heavy like the land was watching. I sat by the river holding the figurine, its red eyes glinting in the sun. Eliza, I whispered. What happened to you? That's when I noticed something carved into the willow's trunk. Faint but clear. JC 1885. Jeremiah Carter? Had he been here hiding something? I searched the ground again and found a small buried tin rusted shut. Inside was a folded note in Jeremiah's rough handwriting. Took the gold to keep it safe. Eliza don't deserve it. Du Bois promised me half. Sorry, kin. Gold? My breath caught. The fortune wasn't just land, it was gold, hidden somewhere on Rosewood. But Jeremiah's note confirmed he'd betrayed Eliza, maybe with the Du Bois family's help. I felt sick thinking of my great-grandmother, cheated by her own cousin. But how did this connect to now? Who broke into Shirley's house? I took the note home, my hands shaking, and showed it to Tasha and Marcus. Tasha gasped. Grandma, this is huge. There's gold out there. But Marcus frowned. That note's trouble. Someone's still after it, and they know you're looking. That night I couldn't sleep, the figurine's red eyes staring from my bedside table. Then my phone rang, Shirley whispering, Evie, I remembered something. Mama said Jeremiah had a partner, someone close to Eliza, who helped him steal the fortune. And I think their family's still around. My heart stopped. Who, Shirley? She hesitated, then said, Cousin Ruth's line. Her great-granddaddy was Jeremiah's brother-in-law, Silas. Ruth? My second cousin, 70, who lived in Atlanta and always asked about family history. I'd mentioned the letter to her in passing. Had she told someone? I confronted Ruth the next day, driving to her fancy Atlanta condo. She welcomed me with her usual smile, but it felt off. Ruth, I said, holding up the note, did you know about Jeremiah betraying Eliza? Her smile faltered. Evie, that's old history. Why dig it up? I pressed, telling her about the break-in, the deed, the curse. Her eyes darted to the figurine in my purse. You shouldn't have that, she snapped. It's dangerous. Let it go. Dangerous? I leaned in. Ruth, did you tell someone about my letter? She looked away, her hands twisting. I mentioned it to my son, Derek. He's got connections, Evie. Real estate folks. They're curious about Rosewood. Derek, Ruth's son, 45, a slick real estate developer who'd always struck me as too smooth. Had he orchestrated the break-in? Was he after the fortune? I left Ruth's place, my heart heavy. Family, my own blood, might be repeating Jeremiah's betrayal. But there was more. That night I found a new note slipped under my door in a modern hand. Stop digging, Evelyn, or the curse will take you too. My blood ran cold. The curse was real, and someone close was watching me. It was early July 2025, and I was sitting in my Savannah kitchen, the deed, that red-eyed figurine, and Jeremiah's note locked in my safe. At 82, I thought I'd seen every kind of pain. Losing my husband Leroy, raising kids through hard times, facing down prejudice, but this betrayal? It was like a knife twisting in my chest. Eliza, my great-grandmother, had fought to survive slavery, only to be robbed by her own kin. And now my own family, Ruth, Derek, might be repeating that history, chasing Rosewood's gold like it didn't come with blood and tears. That note under my door. Stop digging, Evelyn, or the curse will take you too. Felt like a slap. Was the curse real? Was it watching me? If you're feeling this hurt with me, smash that like button and subscribe. We're in this together and it's getting heavy. I couldn't eat, couldn't sleep. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw Eliza's face from my dream, her voice whispering, "Watch your kin." I thought of Ruth's nervous eyes in Atlanta, how she'd snapped about the figurine being dangerous. And Derek, his slick real estate deals, his connections. Had Ruth told him about the deed? Was he the one who broke into Shirley's house, stealing her Rosewood papers? I felt like a fool trusting family like I did back when I was young and naive. But I wasn't that girl anymore. I was Evelyn Rose Carter, named after a warrior, and I wasn't about to let Eliza's legacy stay buried. I called my granddaughter Tasha, who'd been my rock in this search. She came over, her eyes wide with worry. "Grandma Evie," she said, sitting across from me, "you look like you've seen a ghost. What's going on?" I showed her the note from under my door, its words chilling the room. Her face hardened. "This is serious, Grandma. Someone's scared you'll find that gold." I nodded, my voice low. "Tasha, it's not just the gold. It's Eliza. She was betrayed and now someone, maybe family, is trying to stop me from making it right." Tasha hugged me tight. "We'll figure it out, Grandma. But you gotta be careful." That curse, that word curse, hung over me like a storm cloud. Shirley's talk of Gullah magic, that red-eyed figurine, Eliza's dream. It all swirled in my head. I took the figurine out, its carved face cold in my hands. Was it just wood? Or was it holding something darker? I remembered Mama saying Gullah folks believed in spirits, in protections woven into objects. Was this figurine Eliza's way of guarding her fortune? Or cursing those who stole it? I needed answers, but first I had to face the pain of family turning on family. I called Shirley again, my heart pounding. "Shirley," I said, "you gotta tell me everything you know about Ruth and Derek." She sighed, her voice heavy. "Evie, Ruth's always been hungry for more money status. Derek's worse. He's been asking about Rosewood since he was a boy, saying our families owed big money. I didn't think he'd go this far." I pressed her about the break-in. "Did you tell Ruth anything else?" Shirley paused, then whispered, "I might have mentioned you found something at Rosewood." "I'm sorry, Evie. Sorry didn't cut it. My own cousin had set this in motion and now I was a target." The betrayal burned, but it lit a fire in me too. I wasn't just fighting for Eliza's fortune. I was fighting for her justice, for every ancestor who'd been cheated. I decided then, I'd expose the truth, not with violence. That ain't my way, and it's not YouTube safe, y'all. But with a plan to reclaim what was ours and make the betrayers face their shame. If Derek and Ruth were after the gold, I'd beat them to it, and I'd make sure the world knew what they'd done. If this fire's got you stirred up, hit that subscribe button and like this video. We're building something big here. I started planning, sitting at my kitchen table with Tasha and Marcus, who'd finally come around, his skepticism replaced by worry. "Grandma," Marcus said, "if Derek's got real estate folks involved, they could be dangerous. We need proof." Tasha nodded. "Let's find the gold first, Grandma. That deed's only half the story." I agreed. The gold was key. If I found it, I could claim Eliza's fortune and prove the betrayal past and present. Step 1, track the gold. Jeremiah's note said he'd taken it to keep it safe. But where? I went back to the library with Tasha, diving into old maps of Rosewood. We found a 1880s survey showing a hidden cellar near the plantation's main house, not far from the Weeping Willow. Could the gold be there? Step 2, investigate Derek. Marcus used his tech skills to pull public records. Derek's company had recently bid on coastal land near Rosewood, claiming historical interest. Historical, my foot. He was after Eliza's gold, and Ruth was helping him. Step 3, the curse. I needed to know if it was real, so I reached out to Miss Clara, a 90-year-old Gullah elder in Savannah's lowcountry community. She welcomed me into her small home, her walls covered with woven sweetgrass baskets. I showed her the figurine. Her eyes narrowed. "This is a root charm, Evelyn," she said, her voice low. "Eliza's kin made it to bind those who wronged her. It's got power, anger, pain. If you're chasing her fortune, you're waking it up." I shivered. "Miss Clara, is it dangerous?" She looked at me serious. "Only to those who betray. Keep it close, but don't trust everyone around you." That sealed it. My revenge would be a reckoning, a public one. I decided to make a YouTube series, Eliza's Truth, telling my story, exposing Jeremiah's betrayal, and calling out Ruth and Derek if they were guilty. I'd film at Rosewood, show the deed, the figurine, the note, and search for the gold on camera, letting the world see the truth. Tasha and Marcus were all in, promising to help with filming and research. But I needed one more thing. Proof of Derek's involvement. I remembered Ruth mentioning his connections. Real estate developers, maybe even lawyers. Were they the ones who left that threatening note? It was mid-July 2025, and I was in my Savannah home, the deed, Jeremiah's note, and that eerie figurine locked in my safe. At 82, I'd faced plenty racism, loss, hard times, but nothing like this. The pain of family betrayal, past and present, burned deep, but it fueled me. I wasn't just Evelyn Rose Carter, grandmother and retired nurse. I was Eliza's heir, carrying her fight. The curse, though? That red-eyed figurine and Miss Clara's warning about Gullah magic had me waking up to every creak in my house. Was it protecting me or warning me? I didn't know, but I was done running. If you're feeling this fire, smash that like button and subscribe. We're about to shake up some secrets. I started with Eliza's truth. My grandkids Tasha and Marcus were all in, setting up a camera in my living room. Tasha, with her knack for storytelling, scripted the episodes, while Marcus handled the tech. We filmed me holding the deed, reading Abigail Du Bois's 1890 letter, and showing Jeremiah's note about stealing the gold. I told the camera about Eliza, my warrior ancestor, cheated by her cousin, and hinted at modern betrayers without naming Ruth or Derek. Yet, this fortune's mine by blood, I said, my voice steady, but someone's trying to steal it again. And I'm coming for the truth. Tasha grinned. Grandma, that's powerful. This is gonna go viral. We uploaded the first episode to my YouTube channel, and it took off thousands of views in days. Comments from folks saying, Miss Evelyn, you're telling our story. And keep fighting for Eliza. If that's hitting you, y'all hit that subscribe button and like this video. We're building a movement here. But the attention brought trouble. 2 days after the upload, my phone rang. An unknown number. A man's voice, low and sharp, said, Mrs. Carter, you're stirring up things best left alone. Drop the series or you'll regret it. I froze, my heart pounding. Was it Derek? One of his connections? I hung up, but the figurine on my table felt heavier, its red eyes glinting. I needed the gold to prove Eliza's claim and shut down the betrayers. Tasha and I went back to Rosewood's ruins, armed with the 1880s map showing a hidden cellar near the main house. The July sun beat down as we trekked through vines and moss, the weeping willow watching us. Marcus stayed back editing episode 2, but he'd rigged a live stream so our subscribers could follow. Grandma, Tasha said, her shovel in hand, if we find this gold, it's game over for Derek. I nodded, but that curse nagged me. What if finding the gold woke it up? We found the cellar's entrance, a stone slab half buried near the old house's foundation. It took both of us to pry it open, revealing a dark, damp space. My flashlight caught something. A wooden chest, rotted but intact with E carved on it. Eliza Carter. My hands shook as we dragged it out. Inside were gold coins, dozens of them, gleaming like they'd been waiting for me. Tasha gasped. Grandma, this is it. Millions. But there was something else. A leather pouch with a note in Abigail's script. The gold is Eliza's, but the curse binds those who take it unjustly. Jeremiah's blood will pay. Jeremiah's blood. That meant his descendants like Ruth and Derek. I felt a chill, the figurine in my pocket growing warm again. We filmed the find for Eliza's truth, showing the coins and note, and uploaded it that night. The internet exploded, viewers called it history-changing. But I got another call, this time from Ruth. Evelyn, she snapped. You're ruining everything. Derek's investors are furious. Stop this now. I held my ground. Ruth, if Derek's after Eliza's gold, he's no better than Jeremiah. Tell me the truth. She hung up, but her panic confirmed it. Derek was involved, and Ruth knew more than she was saying. I needed proof. Marcus hacked into public records. Nothing illegal, just digging deeper than most, and found Derek's company had filed permits to excavate near Rosewood, claiming historical preservation. Preservation, my foot. He was hunting the gold, using Ruth's stories about our family. I confronted Shirley again, driving to Macon. Shirley, I said, did you tell Ruth about the cellar? Her eyes filled with tears. I didn't mean to, Evie. She kept asking about Rosewood, saying Derek needed details for a project. I thought it was harmless. Harmless. Her slip had put me in danger. The curse's shadow grew darker. One night I woke to a loud crash. My back door's glass was shattered, the safe untouched, but a new note left on my table. Last warning. The curse sees you. My heart raced, but anger overpowered fear. This wasn't just about gold. It was about Eliza's justice. I doubled down, filming episode 3 at Rosewood, showing the cellar and reading Jeremiah's confession. I called out the modern betrayers without naming names, letting viewers connect the dots. Comments flooded in. Miss Evelyn, someone's scared of you. And keep going, sister. If you're as fired up as I am, smash that like button and subscribe. We're exposing the truth and it's getting wild. I reached out to Miss Clara, the Gullah elder, again, showing her the new note and the pouch from the chest. She held the figurine, her face grim. Evelyn, this charm's awake. It's tied to Eliza's pain. Her blood protects you, but it'll strike at betrayers. Be careful who you trust. I asked about Derek. She shook her head. He's not alone. There's another closer pulling strings. Closer? My mind raced. Shirley? Tasha? Marcus? I couldn't believe it, but doubt crept in. Then came a breakthrough. Tasha found an old journal in the Savannah Library, written by Abigail Dubois's son, dated 1890. It mentioned a trusted ally, who helped Jeremiah steal the gold. Silas, Jeremiah's brother-in-law and Ruth's great-grandfather. But there was more. Silas had a partner in the Dubois family, a lawyer named Thomas Dubois, who'd vanished after the fire. I dug deeper, finding Thomas's descendants still lived in Atlanta. One was a real estate tycoon, Edward Dubois, who'd funded Derek's company. The pieces clicked. Derek wasn't just after the gold, he was working with the Dubois, repeating history. I planned the final episode of Eliza's Truth. We'd go back to Rosewood, live stream the gold's discovery, and confront Derek and Edward on camera. I called Ruth, giving her one last chance. Ruth, tell Derek to back off, or I'm naming him in front of the world. She cried. Evie, he's in too deep. Edward's dangerous. He knows about the curse. Dangerous? I hung up my resolve steel. The figurine felt hot in my pocket, like it was ready to strike. It was July 2025. Dusk settling over Rosewood's ruins, the air thick with tension. My grandkids Tasha and Marcus stood by me, cameras rolling as Derek and Edward Dubois stepped out of their car. Derek's face was all anger, but Edward, a tall man with cold eyes, looked like he'd seen a ghost. I held up the figurine, its red eyes glinting, and said, "This gold belongs to Eliza Carter, my blood. You've been chasing it, Derek, just like Jeremiah did. And the curse knows." The live stream chat exploded, viewers typing, "Miss Evelyn, don't back down," and "Justice for Eliza." If you're feeling that fire, smash that like button and subscribe. We're bringing this home together. Derek laughed, nervous. "Evelyn, you're old and confused. That gold's long gone." But Edward grabbed his arm, his voice low. "Shut up, Derek. She's got the deed." I stepped forward, holding the coins. "And I've got proof, Jeremiah's note, Abigail's letters. You're working with a Dubois just like he did. History's repeating, but I'm stopping it." Edward's eyes darted to the figurine and he froze. "That thing, my grandfather warned me about it. It's cursed." Cursed? He knew something and I wasn't letting him walk away. I kept the camera on, my voice steady. "Edward, tell the truth. Did you and Derek break into Shirley's house? Send those notes to scare me." Derek shouted, "You're crazy." But Edward's face crumpled. "It wasn't supposed to go this far," he said. "My family owed Jeremiah's line, Silas's descendants, a share. Derek came to me, said you'd found the deed. We just wanted the land." The chat went wild. "They admitted it. And Miss Evelyn, you gotta..." Derek lunged for the figurine, but Tasha blocked him. "Back off, cousin," she snapped. Then the figurine in my hand grew hot, burning hot, and Derek stumbled, clutching his chest like he'd been struck. We stopped the stream, my heart pounding. Derek was fine, just shaken, but Edward was pale, muttering, "It's the curse." I didn't know if it was Gullah magic or fear, but something had shifted. Back home, I called Miss Clara, the Gullah elder. She held the figurine, her eyes calm. "Evelyn, you faced the betrayers. The charm did its work, protected you, struck fear in them. Eliza's at peace now." Peace? I wasn't so sure, but the weight in my chest felt lighter. Eliza's Truth went viral, millions of views, news outlets picking it up, historians calling me to verify the deed. The gold and land were legally mine, appraised at over $5 million. I set up a trust for my grandkids and a scholarship fund in Eliza's name, ensuring her legacy lifted others. Ruth called, sobbing, "Evie, I didn't know Derek would go so far. I just wanted a piece of the family history." I forgave her, she was kin, flawed but human. Derek, though? He lost his real estate deals when Edward's company cut ties. His reputation in tatters. Edward himself vanished from Atlanta. Rumors saying he feared the curse. Karma, y'all, not violence but truth hitting hard. I visited Miss Clara one last time asking about the figurine. Keep it, she said. It's yours now, a protector, not a curse, as long as your heart's true. I placed it on my mantle, its red eyes no longer eerie but watchful, like Eliza guarding me. The break-ins stopped, the notes ceased, and my dreams of Eliza turned gentle. She smiled, whispering, "You did right, child." If this victory's moving you, hit that subscribe button and like this video. We're healing through truth together. So what's the lesson? At 82, I've learned family can break your heart, but it's also where you find strength. Eliza's fight became mine, and exposing the truth set her free, and me too. The curse wasn't magic alone. It was the pain of betrayal, carried through generations, waiting for someone to face it. I did, for Eliza, for my grandkids, for all of us who've been cheated but kept standing. If you're holding a hurt, a secret, speak it. Share it. That's how we break curses, how we rise. My Savannah home feels lighter now, the deed safe, the gold a legacy, not a burden. I'm still Grandma Evie sipping tea, singing in choir, but I'm also Eliza's heir, proud and unbroken. Y'all, if this story's touched your soul, smash that like button and subscribe. Let's keep telling our truths. What's your story waiting to be told? Stay blessed, and I'll see you in the next one.